Hello there and welcome back to another episode of TPG. Today I really want to talk about is why Chelsea sacked Poch. I mean, partially glad as an Arsenal fan that they decided to give him the chop. Obviously, the beginning of the season and for a huge period of the season, no one was really sure what sort of football they wanted to play, how they wanted to approach it. Obviously, Poch has just inherited a lot of players that he probably didn't want. They was already there. They've spent a lot of money on stuff, but it finally seemed like he was getting the best out of some of them. Since Christmas, since the turn of the year, they've actually been one of the most informed teams in the Premier League. I know you wouldn't have guessed it, considering where they started and where they finished. They finished sixth, so to assume they'd be one of the most informed teams coming towards the end of the season, you'd probably think, well, not really. But with the young players that they've got, the mismatch of player profiles and styles, and then you've got a couple of ageing players defensively. I thought going forward they started to have things click. Palmer obviously had a great season for him, fantastic, and he's obviously only going to get better. But obviously he was sort of enjoying that. It wasn't fully a free role that he had. Obviously he was sort of coming off the right and playing that sort of style, but he spent a lot of his time in the middle. But actually he was more like a right centre mid, number 10, sort of that area. Madueke on the right, because he actually was on the right. I think he's a very good player. I think he's got a lot about him. Sometimes his final ball, we don't really know if he should go forward, whether he should pass it, shoot, cross it. But he's certainly got a good physical specimen about him. He's not slow, he's got tricks, he can beat a man, and he can whip a ball in. So if he'd done that a bit more, or just worked on his game. But again, Poch was getting that out of him. He was getting him into positions that he should be in. Caicedo, obviously we looked at him in the summer, probably put a bid in. No one really knows what happens. Good player, he's a good player, good on the ball. I think Enzo is massively overrated. They seem to actually play better when he's not in the squad. I think he's had more managers than goals. Not that he's particularly a goal scorer, but he doesn't bring a hell of a lot to Chelsea. Reece James, when he's fit, probably one of the best right backs in the country. A lot of people would argue the best, but getting, he had 2 red cards this season. That's almost as many appearances as he's made. So you can tell he's come back and he's frustrated and he wants to play and he's trying to get involved quickly, but excuse me, that's not really a way to support your team, considering he's captain. So who do we think they're going to get? I think De Zerbi would be a good fit for them, especially if they want to go down this new route of playing really attractive football, bringing through youngsters, and that sort of attacking possession implemented style, which hasn't always been Chelsea's way. They've always been a bit more about results than manner of football, which has served them very well. So I wouldn't be surprised if De Zerbi went there. If they brought anyone old back, i.e. Jose or Tuchel or someone, I think that'd be a massive mistake. There's no point going backwards. If they want to follow Todd Bowley's new initiative of younger, better squads, bringing back an old dog ain't gonna solve their problem. So I wouldn't be surprised if De Zerbi went there. Obviously Thomas Frank's been rumoured to potentially leave Brentford. Again, very good manager. He's top quality. You've got that McKenna who's coming up from Ipswich, but personally he should stay at Ipswich. Try and keep him in the Premier League. If he leaves him after that, I think that's a bit of... He's done well, but it's a little bit of a kick in the teeth. But honestly, I don't mind this Chelsea roundabout. Keep it going, keep them switching managers, not a problem. hopefully it's another year of these players then got to learn a different style, and they're going to be back down there a little bit again. So you can only hope that that's what's going to happen. Because personally I think Poch was getting there. I think he was understanding the play. Yeah, performances, and if you look at certain stats and this stat they didn't score enough from corners, or defensively from corners they weren't great, or on the counter attack, but stats mean nothing at the end of the day. The only stat that matters is the points and who scored the most goals in that match. So don't really matter. But yeah, who do you think's going to be Chelsea's new manager? Let me know in the comments. Peace.